one reverse variant of the 5 tracks available to us in this game is now done, and now we must maneuver onto the second one, which is Tokyo Route 246 reverse. And of course that means we are going to have to head over to the course license, and where the car we are driving is the Honda NSX-R prototype. Because I'm quite sure this is more or less the concept model for what the next model of the Honda NSX would look like. And to be completely honest, this version looks better than the original. Don't at me. This version looks better. Even though it is just my opinion, but yeah. So target times, 2 minutes 17 for a bronze, 2 minutes and 6 seconds for a silver, and we need a 1:59 for a gold. Let's go. So off to a good start so far, and thankfully I did not slide straight into the wall like I thought I was going to, but fortunately that did not prove to be the case, and we can basically continue with the lap, essentially. So heading through into Sector 2 now, as we head through the right-hander this time, because it is the reverse course. Through the hairpin we go, and keeping it all nice and smooth as it currently stands. And this lap might be good enough for a gold, but I will of course need to go for silver first before I target the gold. And this lap has actually gone pretty smoothly, in spite of there being some slipping and sliding through these streets, but I've got a good feeling that says this might be good enough for a gold. I mean, it's definitely good enough for a silver, but can I get the gold on my first attempt? Yes, I can! By a fat 4 seconds, I got the gold. Holy shit. 4 fucking seconds is literally what it was for me to get the gold. That's unbelievable. And well, because I've not saved a license replay more recently, I might as well do just that. Because I know this is probably what I have to do. Also because furthermore, I like the way this NSX looks. And not just, you know, because of the carbon hood. Or bonnet as we call it here in the UK, but I just prefer to call it a hood because I'm biased. Anyways, for achieving the bronze we get the Toyota Esso Ultraflow Supra, and for achieving the gold, is this the Nissan 350Z or something? I think this is the Fairlady Z LM edition, which ironically at the top is sponsored by Esso, as it says up there. Esso of course being a brand of motor oil. So this is our bronze prize car. We get the Esso Ultraflow Supra, another one to add of course to the collection, and apparently this is called the 350Z LM edition, even though because we are in Europe it's called the Fairlady Z, but I prefer it to be called 350Z because, well, I like numbers. Anyways, time trial is down, and since this is a new day, obviously I have to bring back the ace level, because I've not done all of this in a single day, and I think to start this off, let's have a look. Actually, yeah. No, sorry. I'm not going to use the 350Z. Not yet, anyway. But there is something else I've been wanting to use whilst I'm here. Let's think. GT? Nah, I want to save that. Yes. Let's use the Pontiac Solstice. Just because I've been thinking about using this car all game long, and I've now decided this is the time to do it. And I'm pretty sure this will be an easy win because obviously it's on the normal level. And as for our competition, we are up against a VW New Beetle, a Jag S-Type, a Toyota MR2, a Mazda MX-5, and an Audi TT Quattro. Two laps around Tokyo Reverse. And shifting up into second gear because I figured wheel spin was going to crop up. And even though I'm quite sure this will probably end up being an easy win anyway, I just figured for one reason or another I was just wanting to use this thing because even though I'm at a top speed deficit, technically I will probably still win this race anyway because it's on the normal difficulty and not the professional difficulty. Normal, of course, in this game basically being novice. And novice is technically another word for easy. And diving down the inside of the Jag S-Type, already up to the front, as I would have anticipated. And all I can really do now is just basically cruise home to what will probably be an easy victory. I am pretty sure this win will result in a W regardless of my top speed deficit. Also, furthermore, I would like to remind everyone that yes, I do like the Pontiac Solstice. It's not necessarily my favourite concept car overall in this game. Not as good looking as the GT40 concept, obviously, but this car is definitely in my top 10 in terms of my favourite concept cars in this game. And I'm pretty sure this car also appeared in the Detroit Motor Show, if I'm not mistaken. At least I think it did. Before it went into production in, what was it, 2002? Yeah, 2002 was when this car officially went into production. It's also ironic to say that literally the production year of when this car was produced is ironically the same age as this game itself, which was also ironically released in 2002. And yes, I have noticed there is a lot of irony in this game. But regardless of what anyone says, the Solstice is a cool car. Not quite as good looking as the GTO, but it's definitely one of the better production models Pontiac had officially released in their later years. At least that was ultimately, you know, before 2008 had eventually led, of course. To the brand's final dissolving in 2010. As of which, obviously, it was basically 2008 that more or less killed Pontiac, along with numerous other companies during the economical crash of the late 00s. But yeah, 2008 basically killed this car. And ironically enough, it was also 2008 that more or less killed Paul Newman, considering that was the year he died as well. Along with numerous other celebrities as well, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. 2008 for businesses was not a good year. It especially wasn't a good year for car manufacturers. Especially following everything that notably happened pretty much throughout the 00s. I know many people call them the noughties, but I just prefer to call them the 00s because it makes more sense. And 19.6 seconds was my overall win margin, and the Toyota MR2 completes the podium, followed by the VW, then the Audi, and the Mazda once again last, unsurprisingly. So, one race is down, and we still have 2 to go. And up to this point, I'm very glad to say that I have managed to drive this car now. And yes, as you probably just saw there in that final shot, that does of course mean this is clearly a Pontiac. And for winning the race we get, what is this, an Audi RS6? I think that's what this thing is. Pretty sure it's an Audi. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, it's an Audi RS6. And it's available in 6 different colours. Anyways, we have just one car left to claim. And that is on the professional difficulty. So, going back to Tokyo once again, and going to continue with the trend of concept cars, and actually yeah, let's use the Cadillac CN, or CIEN, I think it's pronounced CN, anyways yeah, let's use the Cadillac CN, I think that's how you say it, or SIEN. Don't know what the difference is really. And in this field we have the GT40 with a Volkswagen W12, the Viper GTSR prototype, and 2 Pagani Zondas. Let's go! And apparent as it might be, this thing appears to have the same engine as the Zonda, judging by the sound effects. And yep, okay, getting a lot of wheel spin from this thing. And yep, this engine is definitely revving high. And this thing is quick. This thing is quick. Also, the reason why I chose this thing for Tokyo is technically because, well, we do not appear to have Detroit in this game, which obviously is technically where GM is based because, well, that's basically Motor City in America, Detroit. which of course is also, which of course to those of you who are meteorologists would know very well, is of course located in the state of Michigan. Detroit is basically the Motor City of America. And already up to the front, and this thing is definitely quick. It's probably enough to even give the GT40 a run for its money, is what me thinks. And by the way, Cadillac is still ongoing. We just haven't really heard from the brand more recently. Or at least I haven't heard from the brand more recently, but yeah, Cadillac is still ongoing. And ironically enough, as well as Cadillac and Chevrolet, there was also Buick and GMC, which of course are notably brands in a way which are still ongoing, of course, with GM in their post 2010 production years, because that's ultimately when they had to shut down 3 of America's recognisable brands. Even though I did recently hear they revived Hummer. I think that was probably... what was it? Was it last year? Well, last year was 2021, and this is 2022, so... yeah, I'm pretty sure GM probably has brought back Hummer. Even though many people at the time really didn't care about Hummer, because, well, to be completely honest, their cars were basically about as big as the deserts of the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Because, well, outside of Dubai, which is basically, you know, more or less the city of supercar heaven, it's mostly just deserts and sand dunes across the UAE. Even though the United Arab Emirates, or UAE for short, is located pretty much in the centre of the Middle East. And ironically enough, that's also where Abu Dhabi is located. The location of the Yas Marina circuit. And also, another venue F1 goes to in the Middle East is Bahrain. And ironically enough, the people of Iran and Iraq don't seem to have any problems with that. Also, FYI, they added the Jeddah Street Circuit as well, which is another venue in the Middle East. And to anyone who was asking where Jeddah is, it's in Saudi Arabia, so yeah, it's definitely fair to say F1 has a big market in the Middle East. Especially in Abu Dhabi, because, well, that's where the title decider has been held basically every year. Officially since 2014. Although ironically enough, before then, when it was moved to being the championship decider full-time, it was also the championship decider in both 2009-2010, when the circuit was officially first added to the schedule. Then I think it was Brazil for about 3 years, and then after that it was moved back to Abu Dhabi again in 2014. So, 11.3 seconds the margin of victory over the Ford. Then, the first of the two Paganis was third, followed by the W12, the second Zonda was fifth, and at the back it was the Viper. So we get the trophy, and that is now all of our prize cars obtained. moving on. And what are we going to get this time? We get a Chrysler Crossfire. Nice. Very nice. God, I love the Crossfire. But yeah. Our fourth and final prize car from Tokyo Reverse is the Chrysler Crossfire, which I think was also produced in 2002. Anyways, time for the final race, and we are doing the Ace level. And where I did think about using this car, and now... yeah, let's use it. I'm going to use it. Let me think. Do I want to use the 350Z, or do I want to use the Honda? Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick to my original plan and use the 350Z. Just because I've already driven a Honda NSX race car up to this point. So in this field we have the GT40 LM Edition along with the Esso Ultraflow Supra, the Mobile One NSX, the GTR Concept LM, and the Zanavi Hiroto GTR in this field. So a majority of the field is clearly Japanese, and we basically have one American car, that of course being the GT40. So, already off to a reasonable start. And braking early, trying not to be caught out by the pack, because I know they're going to make unorthodox manoeuvres. And already up to 5th position, trying to see if I can make a manoeuvre there on the GTR. Of course, his size and weight is really not helping me out that much, but doesn't matter because I'm already past him. And up to 3rd position we go now, slowly moving my way up the packing order. The GT40 clearly proving to be the leader at the moment, and that's a wall. And having to use the wall just a little bit there so I would not be overtaken by the GTR. Don't think there was anything illegal about that, I just clipped the wall. I wasn't doing anything that counted towards cheating, I don't think. And yep, I turned in too soon. Although, I don't think it really matters that much because I'm already up to 2nd. And trying to see if I can look for the lead. This is of course a 5-lap run. And trying to see if I can look for any space to overtake the GT40. Doesn't appear to be the case at the moment, but I am trying at the very least. And he brakes early. I go in a little bit too deep there into the corner. He pulls off the switchback and pulls away from me for a brief moment. I'm starting to close up again as we enter the right-hander. And still scraping the walls just a little bit there, as of which there are Armco barriers on both sides. And somehow I was able to re-overtake for the lead, and pretty sure I will manage to lead this lap as long as I don't do anything stupid. And I already have a 1 second advantage. So it appears as though everything at the moment is looking to be okay. And I now have a 1.2 second lead as we begin lap 3 here in Tokyo. Already proving to pull away now from the rest of the field, as of which I more or less knew this was pretty much going to be easy pickings once I took the lead. And starting to slowly ease away now from the GT40. A 2.3 second lead is what I now have heading into the right-hander. Trying to see if I can make this a clean lap. It's been clean so far. Really want to try and see if I can make this a clean lap. And fortunately not making any contact with the outside wall. And oh shit, okay. I thought for sure I was going to back it into the wall, but somehow I didn't. And managing to avoid the styrofoam barriers. Oh, probably isn't styrofoam, but whatever. And slowly easing away, I now have a 3.6 second lead, so basically pulling away with now what appears to be pretty much a second per lap. Don't really see any point of pushing it, since I am now out in front. And really trying to hold on up to this point. And it looks as though the lead is fairly balanced now. Still 3.6 seconds, so the GT40 is not necessarily letting me waltz away with this thing by too much of a margin, but again, he's not necessarily close enough to challenge me for the lead, so I still lead. And making it so I had a smooth enough entry through the right-hander, and I am beginning to pull away again now, this time to what is a 5-second lead and what appears to be a new best lap time. And a 1:35 flat is the time I set on that previous lap, as we now begin the final lap, and a 6-second lead is what I now have over the Ford. No one else looking to challenge me for the lead, so it appears as though for myself as well as the rest of the field it is going to be a relatively uncontested final lap. And that's a wall. Oh well. I will try and see if I can beat my personal best. I am aiming to at least set myself a target before this race is done. But yeah, I mean, in GT3, the rubber banding in Tokyo is usually much stronger than this, and as I figured out from arcade mode, the AI were just not willing to give me an inch. And I basically won that race in a dead heat, basically, but this is the exact opposite of a dead heat, because I'm just gradually pulling away from the rest of the field, and this is going to be a lot faster. 2.3 seconds faster, to be precise. That's just how quick I was in the 350ZLM. And margin of victory in the end, 11.3 seconds. Then we had the GTR Concept in the third, 16 seconds behind. The Supra finished in fourth, or the Soup I should say, 20.8 seconds. Then the Zanabi Hiroto GTR, 28.1 seconds, and at the back, with 29.4 seconds ahead of him, was the Mobile 1 NSX, a car which I previously won with. So, no prize cars obviously, and checking to see that I have got a replay saved. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as it is, because I've not saved a license replay for a while. But anyways, there we go. Tokyo Reverse is complete. And we are now 69% done with the game up to this point. And next time, I think we're heading over to Swiss Alps Reverse. And I'm going to assume... Oh, wait a minute. 69%. Nice. I just had to do that. Anyways. Saving the game, since we now have just 3 circuits to go. Shalabang, shalaboom. Onwards to Swiss Alps Reverse.